So you're thinking about picking up a side hustle to generate an extra $500,000 or even $10,000 a month, and you watch these videos on Instagram or YouTube that says it's so easy to pick up these side hustles and you can instantly make money right off the bat, right? Now, it sounds like a good idea and it seems so easy, but I want to tell you the truth behind these side hustles and why it will make you poor. What's going on, guys? This is Stan Kwok here, one half of the Kwok Brothers, and here in our channel, we like to talk about how to make and keep more of your money. Now, I see a lot of these videos out there on YouTube, Instagram that says you should start a side hustle and it's easy. You can make easy $500,000 or $10,000 a month. So great. And as someone who has built multi-million-dollar company and has done side hustles, let me tell you the truth as to what really goes on. But first, let's even define what a side hustle even is. So how I define a side hustle is anything outside of your main job or business that isn't really a long-term focus. And the only reason why you want to even do a side hustle is because of that extra $500,000 or $10,000 a month. And it might be a friend that tells you how they're making $10,000 or $20,000 a month on this weird crypto trading thing. Or you may have another friend that says, hey, I'm making easy money with this AI weird juju thing that I'm doing. And you're sitting there thinking, maybe I should do it too because they're doing it. It must be that easy. But what's really going on and what the Instagram and YouTubers don't really tell you is the amount of work and effort and attention that it really takes for you to actually generate some serious money with these quote unquote side hustles. It's like a drug, right? You do a hit, it gives you a high for a moment, and you have to keep doing it to keep giving you the high, and it's not gonna really last long, and rarely does it actually fix anything when it comes to the deeper financial challenge that you might have. So here are the real reasons why I'm not a big fan of side hustles and why they will make you poor at the end of the day. Number one is it's something that I alluded to earlier, and that is it takes more time, more effort, more energy, and possibly even more money to actually make money from a side hustle. So when you see these Instagram influencers and YouTube creators tell you how easy it is and they're flaunting their money and their fancy cars, rarely do they ever actually show you the hard work, the gut-wrenching process, and even the embarrassing stories that go with it that actually led them to becoming successful. And what's even crazier is that they tell you to get a side hustle so that they can sell you a course on how to get a side hustle, which actually happens to be their next side hustle. And then 6 months later, they disappear and you never hear from them again. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, and a lot of attention away from your main thing to even make the side hustle work. I mean, why do you think a side hustle has the word hustle in it? So don't let these Instagram and YouTube content influencers fool you because they show you all the easy, all the money, all the cool glittery stuff, but they never tell you all the bad stuff, the embarrassing stories that go with it. And most of the stuff that's on Instagram is to make to look good and better than what it actually is. Number two reason is that when you do get into a side hustle, oftentimes there's people in that space that are doing it full time and it's their main profession, it's their main thing. And in most cases, those that are doing your side hustle as a full-time professional career will beat you and outcompete you when it comes to the side hustle. So what ends up happening is that you'll never reach the threshold of being good enough to be noticed and actually grow and actually make money because there's all these other people who are taking this quote unquote side hustle seriously. It's their profession, it's their main thing. They put all their time and energy into growing and making their thing better. That's why they're gonna beat you when you half part-time into this side hustle thing. It's just not gonna work. In fact, Bruce Lee once said, I do not fear a man who practiced 1,000 kicks one time. I fear a man who practices one kick 1,000 times. What does it mean? Well, it means if you want to be effective and deadly and you actually want to make money, you have to focus on one primary thing that you're really good at and you're exceptional at and just be a dang master at it. So when you have all these different types of side hustles, things that are going on the side, when it comes to someone choosing you versus someone who's doing the thing full time, they're always gonna choose the person that's doing it full time. Another good example, let's just say that you're dealing with a leaking toilet and you need to call a plumber to fix it. And you find a guy and he says, oh yeah, I'm a plumber, I can come and fix this. But what you actually find out later is that he's got this other job completely unrelated to plumbing and he said he's gonna come and fix your toilet. Well, would you choose that person or would you choose someone who is professional, licensed, they're bonded, they're certified, the whole 9 yards? Which one would you go with? Clearly, you're gonna go with someone who is a professional, who's been doing this for a long period of time, they're licensed, they're insurance, and they know what they're doing. And number three reason why I'm not a big fan of side hustles is that a lot of times they will take away your focus, attention, and energy away from your main thing, which means that your main thing will suffer because you're not putting enough energy, time, and attention at the main thing. So if you want a guaranteed ticket, for your job to suffer, your job performance to suffer, if you have a business, your business revenue goes down, if you want a guaranteed ticket for your main thing to suffer and decline, then get a side hustle. And I don't care if you are the world's best multitasker, which doesn't exist and it's impossible for the human brain. Your main job or your main business will take a toll and decline if you don't put 100% of your focus, time, and energy. Now, it's a different thing if your main business has a CEO, has got a whole entire leadership team that's running it, and you're just the owner. That's fine. That's a different thing, which you're not actively participating in the growth and the development of that business. But if you're the CEO of this thing, a CEO of that thing, and you have a job here, and you have if it's that, then trust me, whatever is your main revenue source will take a hit. You will start to see a decline. And so what happens is because you take it on a side hustle, your main job or main business suffers. So now you feel like you have to take on more side hustles to compensate for that loss. Now you're in this weird cycle and trap of constantly getting side hustles and second jobs just to compensate for the loss of the quality of work that you're doing for the main job or the main role. And if you're saying that your main job doesn't pay you enough, then maybe you might need a completely different opportunity altogether that does give you a higher vertical development when it comes to income potential. So as an example, if you're a store cashier or clerk, obviously it's gonna be harder for you to increase your pay or income being in that same position. So what I would do, instead of getting a side hustle, which really won't last that long, I would devote that time and energy that you have in actually acquiring a skill or knowledge that you know will become your main thing as your next iteration in your journey, and work on that and then get into the next opportunity. Focus all of your time and energy working on your main opportunity and growing that as big as possible. And I get it, if you have bills to pay and expenses to pay, then yes, for a season or a period of time, you may need to have a side hustle or something that's gonna help you continue to pay for all the bills. I mean, heck, even I at one time had to pick up a side hustle just to get to pay the bills. I mean, for a period of time, for about 6 months, I drove for Uber because I needed to pay the bills while I'm focusing on my main opportunity, my main hustle, my main business, which was and still is my real estate and finance business. So while I was still working on that, I needed to pay my bills and I didn't want to get delinquent or get evicted, so I had to go and drive for Uber. But I knew that this was just a temporary thing so that I can focus on my main thing in the long term. And because I'm still human, I made this terrible mistake, which I probably think it cost me $1 million. But along the way, my business grew to $1 million and we're like, oh my gosh, we did it, $1 million, high five, right? And you feel like a rock star, you feel invincible, and you feel like you can take on anything and you'll be successful. And that's when I made the mistake, is I started a marketing agency because I was really good at it. And that took my attention and time away from my main business. And so what ended up happening is my main business started to take a nosedive, which meant less revenue, less profit, and I'm like struggling. And at the same time, I was trying to get this marketing agency thing going, which really ended up going anywhere. So what ended up happening is, looking back, I wasted months of time, and potentially, because I took my eye off my main business, I probably have lost revenue opportunity because of the opportunity cost. So had I not taken on this side hustle or side business that I was starting, I would have probably made millions of dollars or more because I could have maintained the momentum and the trajectory of my business growth. But because I didn't, I lost time and energy that I can't get back. And that's the point of this entire video. So I often see a lot of these so-called entrepreneurs go from one opportunity, from a multi-level marketing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, and they never take root with one thing, and they never really grow and actually find fulfillment in doing one thing and being master at it. And that's what costs them more time and more energy and more money in the long run than ever before. So if you are going to stick to one thing, and if you have a job and you maybe want to start a business and maybe you want to dedicate yourself to a long-term business growth, then do that, right? Not a side hustle that isn't really gonna get you anywhere. Pick an opportunity that you know that there's problems that are worth solving. There's an audience that you wanna serve, and you know it by doing this opportunity, you'll stick with it for the next 10 years, and there's a high potential to make a lot of money, which is not a bad thing at all. And I see this a lot with entrepreneurs and go-getters, the A players, the people that are really driven. The problem is not that they're not smart enough or that they don't work hard enough. It's that they get this what's called shiny object syndrome, and they look at all these different opportunities thinking that they have to do all of it. And because they're not taking 100% of their eye and attention on one thing, they never really let any one of these things take off and grow to the full maturity at the extent that it does pay out big money. So the lesson is twofold, right? if you want to make more money, the answer is not to take on more side hustles. It's actually to invest in yourself, gain new skills and new knowledge, and then shift to a new opportunity that will pay you more and focus all of your time and attention at that and keep going, keep growing. And related to that, if you want to start a separate business, go all in at it, stay at it, and commit to it for the next 10 years or more, and be the best you can be in that vertical or in that product or in that service that you are. The worst thing that anyone can do, especially young people, is to choose a side hustle from a long-term perspective when they have the choice to continue learning and delaying the gratification to acquire skills, acquire knowledge, allowing them to have a higher vertical, higher potential of earning capacity versus sticking with something that they know that they're not going to commit to for the next 10 years and it's just going to come and go without really helping them grow with anything. So all that to say, this is why I believe side hustles will make people poor for the long run. Again, there's nothing wrong with having side hustles just to pay for bills temporarily so that you can work on the main thing and grow that and commit to it, and also using that time to acquire new skills, new knowledge, and upgrading yourself so that you can increase your earning capacity. So having said that, if you want to check out some more content on making more money and keeping more of it, check out this video right here and we'll see you in the next video.